Afternoon, this is our latest video update on severe tropical storm Vicente, which is now moving across southern China after making landfall near Macau early this morning. Today is the 24th of July 2012, and again we continue to monitor Vicente moving now into Guangxi Province, last located approximately 150 kilometers east-northeast of Nanning City. That's in Guangxi Province. Maximum sustained winds are now down to 95 kph with gusts of up to 130 according to JMA. Moving westward at 25 kilometers per hour. You can see on this visible satellite image the eye of the storm is now gone and has degraded. Although you can still discern the cyclonic rotation, the convective activity is still pretty strong, although quickly weakening as it interacts with the land. Still bringing heavy rains across Guangxi and even here in Guangdong Province, and also south into Hainan Island. As of 4 p.m. we have current warnings from CMA have downgraded the warning to blue typhoon from orange, and Hong Kong remains at standby signal number 1. You have to remember HKO raised hurricane signal number 10 last night in preparation for Vicente's landfall, the first issuance of signal number 10 in over 13 years. The last one was in 1999 when Typhoon York moved through Hong Kong. So gives you an idea how rare and how strong the storm Vicente moved through last night. And when we made our video yesterday, we're expecting this to become a typhoon, but not as strong as it became. And just when it made landfall, you can see here in this infrared image, this is from Colorado State, image taken before making landfall. This is Hong Kong and here is Macau. So you can see the eye of the storm really rapidly intensified and cleared out few hours before making landfall. You can also see those very strong convective activity surrounding the eye, very symmetrical look, and prompting JTWC to break constraints and actually intensify and raise the intensity from a category 1 120 kilometers per hour typhoon to a full-blown category 4 typhoon with estimated maximum sustained winds of around 220 kilometers per hour. We didn't really see those winds in terms of official reports, although both Hong Kong and Macau did record winds of stronger than typhoon status, around 120 kilometers per hour, some actually gusting to near 180 out here in Hong Kong, particularly the open areas and those areas near the coast. So it just gives you an idea how strong the storm is. Unfortunately, we don't have reports of the areas just west of Macau. It made landfall around 3 or 4 a.m. Hong Kong time, approximately 50 kilometers west of Macau. So if Macau got sustained winds of around 150 or 120 to 150, it gives you an idea how tight the wind field of the storm is. Probably those very strong winds probably only stretched more than 20 kilometers and not more, but still very strong. Can definitely tell that on the satellite image. But right now the system, as I said, has degraded quite a bit. You can still see that circulation, the cyclonic look, although the convective activity has really weakened, and you can see on the eastern periphery of the storm is really broken down. Still seeing some strong activity on the southern half of the storm, and also here near Macau and even Hong Kong still, due to the convergence and the surface friction being caused by the system. Also looking at the radar image, you can see the widespread rains brought about by Vicente, and even here just west of Hong Kong still seeing some thunderstorms there. So continue to get rains across Guangdong, and here moving into Guangxi Province, widespread rainfall reports of around 50 to 150 millimeters were recorded here in Guangdong this morning. Hong Kong Airport actually reported 220 millimeters of rain in the past 24 hours, so some very heavy rainfall, even though the Visente didn't really make direct landfall in the region. Nevertheless, again, continue to expect those same amounts of rainfall, probably around 100 millimeters to 150, especially those in the mountains. So continue to watch the news for the latest warnings and forecast for your area. Now, as for the forecast, we have JDWC's forecast. The system is now moving westward and is forecast to continue rapidly weakening, probably becoming a tropical depression early tomorrow morning. And you can see here, this is JDWC's forecast a few hours ago, and expecting this system to cross into Vietnam, northern Vietnam, by tomorrow morning, passing probably around 200 kilometers north of Hanoi as a, again, weak tropical depression, but still going to be there's still going to be potential for some heavy rains affecting much of northern Vietnam tomorrow, so still be wary of that. JMA also showing the same thing here, forecasting a westward and then somewhat of a southwestward dip towards the northern part of Vietnam. But again, as you can see, most forecasting agencies are expecting this system to rapidly weaken and eventually dissipate as early as tomorrow afternoon. Moving on to the other system we're watching, we have Invest93W continuing to slowly develop approximately 1,000 kilometers east of Mindanao. You can see here just south of Palau Island is located here, and the circulation center, an elongated and weak circulation center, located south of the island. You can see the convective activity is still pretty weak and very disorganized actually. So again, if you watched our video yesterday, we talked about how how the low pressure area is forecast to slowly intensify. Computer models still showing a cyclone forming out of this area in the next few days, but again, the development should be slow. And in terms of the wind shear and sea surface temperatures are somewhat favorable for development, so just continue to keep monitoring the system if and when it develops. But in terms of forecast track, most of the computer models are showing track parallel the eastern coast of the Philippines, but that could change, so just keep on checking us here for the latest information. And finally, we take again a quick look at the southwest monsoon affecting the Philippines, particularly here in western Luzon. As we forecasted, the coverage and the intensity has slightly weakened, although we're still seeing heavy rains across Pangasinan and Zambales and Bataan areas here in the western part of Luzon. Some areas still reporting rains of around 50 to 60 millimeters per hour. Rest of the country, especially here in southern Luzon and here in Visayas, should expect lesser chances for rain. There could still be some isolated thunderstorms. Here in Mindanao, we have seen also this batch of convection moving in from the east, generated by the convergence, enhanced also by Invest93W. We are also seeing rains of 50 to 60 millimeters here in Davao, also here in Hinatuan. So in terms of the rains, be here in northern and central Luzon, also here in Mindanao. We're also seeing this blob of convection that is actually has pinched off somewhat out of the southwest monsoon. It has its own vorticity signature and a low pressure, but not expected to develop in terms of cyclone formation, but continue to keep an eye on this system. It continues to move slowly to the north and doesn't seem to directly pose a threat, but could still enhance some rain showers across as it interacts with the monsoon trough, expecting to enhance some isolated thunderstorms here across eastern Visayas and also here in northern and northeastern Luzon. That concludes our update for today. You need to again keep checking out CMA HKO for the latest weather forecast in your area, and also continue checking out our website as we continue to monitor Visente as it continues to move across China and eventually cross into Vietnam tomorrow morning. Also, latest updates on Invest93W. Stay safe out there.